Yo, how y'all doing? How y'all doing today? Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. All right, like and subscribe, all that juicy stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put the stuff on the screen so it looks a little nice and stuff. But I'm gonna get into it real quick. All right, it's gonna be a quick video. All right, so I want to talk about something really important that's been plaguing the manosphere. Is that what it's called? But the brotherhood. That's the brotherhood, and that's stress. So the silent killer known as stress has been plaguing the brotherhood for the longest time. I was a victim of that. I would say I'm no longer really a victim anymore, but I'm just putting this out there because I know how bad it could be. And like, there's a lot of self improvement, all that stuff, content out in the universe, whatever it's called. But like, no one talks about this one thing, and that's stress. It's killing us, right? And simply put, like, us men, our biggest thing is to perform. We need to perform at our peak. We need to do the best that we could do and all this other stuff, right? If we're not performing peak, it's a lot of issues. And that's killing us now because we're so worried at performing, we end up doing too much, like while we try to perform, right? Wherever that could be, if you're performing at work, performing for your woman, performing for yourself. Like there's so much things, but at the end of the day, as a man, the main thing that you gotta do is you worry about every single day is your performance, right? And if you're not, your performance is not top tier, becomes an issue. And that's what I want to speak on. And the problem is that there is ways to mitigate the stress that we get when we're not performing at our peak, right? And so I think this needs to be talked about more, but I'm going to talk about it in this video, right? So anyways, appreciate whoever's watching this. If you got this far, you're a real one. You want to keep it going, right? So what I do for stress, now if you got more tips, drop it in the comments for the brotherhood. It's all about the brotherhood in here, right? All about the brotherhood. So is stop worrying so much. There's only so much you can control in the world, and there's only so much you can do in this world, even for yourself. You can't even fully control all of the different organs in your body. They do whatever they do, right? Imagine if you wake up every day and you're worrying about every single organ in your body. Like, oh, what does this organ do? Like, you're gonna go crazy, right? You can't control all the different organs, right? You can only control what you can control, right? For example, I can control my hand like this. Even then, to an extent, right? If my muscles aren't good, like, but still, I can control it to the point that I can control it. And that's how you should look at your life. Look at the things that you can control and focus on those things only. Whatever you can control, you try your best to control them the best that you can, right? Everything else that you cannot control, do not worry about them because you can't even do anything about them anyways. So it makes no difference for you. You worrying about that, you're just making it harder for yourself. All right, number two. Number two is stop caring so much. All right, now for the brotherhood, for us, this can be tough, right? You run into a girl, you know what I mean? Y'all hit it off, you like her and stuff like that, and then you start caring a lot and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, apply this to everything, not just women, but like everything you do. If you care too much, that's when you start getting stressed, right? Because then you start worrying about things again. Most of the time, they don't even matter, or you can't even control them, right? Like, so you run into a chick, you'd be like, "Oh man, I wonder if she's hanging out with these dudes, or if she's going here, bro." You can't even control that, anyways. So stop caring, right? And then not even that fact that you can control it, but like, who cares if she goes there anyways, right? Like at the end of the day, it's all about between you and her, right? If you're talking about relationships, we're not talking about relationships right now, but like just between you and her, right? And then number three, all right, create a routine that is going to mitigate stress, right? So like if stress is naturally in our body, it's your cortisol, right, and all that stuff. That's why when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol is up, right? As we know, when you wake up first in the morning, your cortisol is up. Why? Because you just woke up and your brain's just like, now it's taking in all the information of the world of what's happening. So obviously it's going to be more alert than before, right? So the thing is, but your brain does that all the time, 24/7, whether you're awake or you're sleeping, right? So you need to create a way to keep the stress down manually, right? If you don't have a routine to mitigate the stress, it's gonna just start piling up, and it's gonna mess you up, right? So you need to make a way to keep the stress down, right? That's what I realized. Like, create some type of routine. It's everyone's different. For some people, it's like opening a book and reading. For some people, they go in their car and they go for a drive. For some people, they go for a walk. For some people, they go work out, right? Everyone has their thing, but you need to create a routine that you can stick to, that's going to help you to mitigate stress. Because then, like that, it'll be easier to do the first two things, right? If your stress level is already high, it's going to be harder for you to not care, and it's going to be harder for you to worry about the things that you can't control, right? Just forgot. Worry about the things that you can't control. So that's what I say. Like, focus on those three things. Everything's life's gonna get a lot easier. And honestly, stress it's a silent killer in men, because the more stress you have, the lower your T goes, right? And as we all know, lower T is trash. Nobody wants low T. You can't get it up. You can't enjoy the little things in life. You don't have energy. Like, the list goes on. The low T is, nobody wants low T, right? So at the end of the day, mitigate your stress. Keep your stress as low as possible. And the way I do it, the way I recommend all of you guys, is number one: stop worrying about the things that you can't control. Only focus on the things that you can't control. So that's what it is. Focus on the things that you can't control. There's things that you cannot control. Don't worry about them. Number two, don't stop caring so much. All right. So whatever is going on, don't care too much. Okay. Care only as much as you need to care. Does that make any sense? Right. And then number three, create a routine to mitigate stress, right? Like, find something that you can do that's gonna just naturally keep the stress down, so it can get rid of the thoughts, right? Like, because then the thoughts come in your mind and you start thinking about all these crazy stuff, right? And then if you don't have a routine to keep that stress down and all that stuff, what's gonna happen, right? Like, you need like time to get rid of all, because your brain likes to wander. It likes to tell you a bunch of nonsense, right? Because your subconscious, you can't control the fully. My bad. You can't fully control your subconscious, right? It does its own thing, right? So you need time for the subconscious to do its own thing. You need to give it space. If you don't give it space, it's gonna like overflow, and that's what happens. And you have too much stress, and you're waking up and you're worrying about all these crazy stuff. Don't worry about all that stuff, all right? Give yourself time to relax, I guess you could say. Like, find what works for you and then do that. And then as us as men, I see that this is the big issue, and we don't do this. We just wake up every day, all we worry about is, are we gonna perform at our best? Like, that's not possible, right? Like, if you don't have room to perform your best, it's not gonna work, right? So us as men, we need to get a jump on this. And I hope that message reaches as far as it can reach. I hope whoever watched the video all the way to this part, you're a real one. Much love. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe, all the other stuff. If you want, you can follow me on my TikTok. I do like outside stuff and all this like funny stuff. Like, if you want to see like the not so serious side of me, it's on my TikTok. Go watch it. I do funny stuff, and then it's gonna make you realize that, again, how if you practice not caring and not worrying about things that you can't control, or focus on the things that you can control, not worry about them, but focus on the things that you can control. There's a difference. And if you have a routine, then life just is a lot different, right? So you guys can go to my TikTok. I'll have it in the description, right? I'll put it in the comments too, and you guys can watch and just enjoy. Appreciate all you guys. One love.